and I am going to be talking about the movie The Core from 2003. The main characters of this movie are Dr. Keyes, a geophysicist, played by Aaron Eckhart, and Major Childs, a NASA astronaut, played by Hilary Swank. So the basic plot of this movie is that the Earth's core has stopped moving due to artificial seismic activity that was created by the US military as a means of weaponry. So they deploy a team of scientists that are brought in to investigate a bunch of anomalies that are happening, like lightning storms, mega earthquakes, and even microwaves, like melting the Golden Gate Bridge, which was pretty crazy. So these scientists create a laser device to drill through the crust, mantle, outer and inner core of the Earth, and then detonate nuclear warheads in the inner core of the Earth to start it spinning again. They do successfully get the core of the Earth started spinning again, but lose 3/4 of their team trying to do it. That's basically the plot of the movie. So now let's get into more of the scientific terms of this. So on to some of the sciencey stuff and some of the natural phenomenon. I'm going to be talking about the things that they got wrong in this movie. So first off, there is a mega earthquake that occurs in this movie, and it depicts like S waves or Rayleigh waves as literal waves in the ground. Like, it looks like if you like pick up a blanket and shake it out, and it's like literally the whole ground waves like that, which is not how it looks like in real life. But it also depicts that as the only wave to come and as the most destructive. In real life, there are multiple waves in an earthquake, and the P wave is the most destructive one of those. Secondly, they drill through the crust, mantle, and core, which is about like 6,400 kilometers. And the record that we've ever drilled is around 11 kilometers into the crust. We haven't even drilled all the way through the crust, so that's just inaccurate. They vaporize materials with a laser when they're drilling through to get to the core. And when they vaporize that stuff, it should turn into gas, which would increase the pressure in the tunnel that they're drilling and cause the ship to implode. It never implodes. The pressure never affects it, so that's just plain inaccurate. Another thing that they get wrong is that they depict the mantle as pure liquid. In reality, the mantle is mostly solid with bits of molten rocks. Also, they use a rock called unobtainium, which is obviously fictitious. It's not a real rock. And no material that we have currently could resist the amount of pressure and heat they experienced when they drilled to the core. Another thing that was kind of weird in the movie is that they were talking about the electromagnetic field being the going down, which being the cause of all of the issues, which the Earth is not surrounded by an electromagnetic field, but just a magnetic field. So a minor thing that they got wrong, but it does make a difference. Another thing, when they depict the core, they depict the inner core as a liquid instead of a solid. The inner core is a solid, and it's made of iron and nickel. And then in Rome, there's a huge lightning storm that happens. It immediately crumbles everything. When the lightning hits, just everything crumbles to the ground. The Colosseum, everything just crumbles immediately. And that is super inaccurate. When a lightning strike actually hits, the energy should go up and down through the strike and disperse out through the ground. It would not cause everything to immediately crumble. It would probably it would conduct through anything metal and then mainly target stuff that was wet. It would disperse through there. and maybe cause a fire or something, but it wouldn't cause the entire Colosseum to crumble to the ground. And then the last thing that they got wrong is that they said that there were microwaves being emitted, and this literally caused the Golden Gate Bridge to melt. That would not happen. Microwaves they can be destructive in super high concentrated amounts, but in general, microwaves aren't the most harmful type of wave, and they definitely cannot melt something instantly made of pure steel. So the last thing that I want to talk about is my ratings for the movie. So on accuracy, I'm going to rate the movie a 3 out of 10. It's not really accurate at all. Most of the science they got completely wrong. They got a couple of things right. They got that there's the crust mantle core, that there's an inner outer core. They got the gist of like the magnetic field and everything like that. They just obviously didn't have a group of scientists consulting on them with it. For entertainment, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It wasn't the most interesting movie I've ever watched, but it kept me entertained. Like, I was kind of on the edge of my seat when some of the characters were like sacrificing themselves to help the mission. It was intense. I will give it that. It was pretty good. And then on acting, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was actually really well written, I think, minus the accuracy. The acting was really good. It was well written. Like, it didn't seem like a B-lister movie. It didn't seem like it was really kind of cringy to watch. It was pretty good. The acting felt pretty genuine. And then CGI is the last category I'm going to rank it on. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for the CGI. It's pretty good for 2003, but I've definitely seen a lot better CGI. Like, it kind of reminds me of Star Trek, old Star Trek, how they tried, but it obviously looks fake. Like, it's not horrible. It's totally watchable, but, like, I think they should remake the movie today and make it a little bit more accurate and have better CGI, and I think that would be really interesting. But overall, that is my review of the movie The Core. Not super accurate, pretty entertaining. Overall, pretty good movie.